All right, in other news, FBI Director James Comey today confirmed that his agency is in fact investigating the Trump administration's alleged ties to the Russian government and the nature of their contacts during the 2016 presidential campaign.
The director, I should say, made the comments during his testimony before the House Intelligence Committee today, where he also dismissed President Trump's claims that former President Obama wiretapped him during the campaign.
Joining us now, Democrat Eric Swalwell, who sits on the House Intelligence Committee, where FBI Director James Comey testified earlier today. Congressman, welcome.
Thank you.
Let me start by asking you very basically here, what is it that you feel you learned today?
Well, I learned it's time for Congress to unite and unite to investigate how we were so vulnerable to be attacked and whether any U.S. persons were involved. We now know that an investigation is taking place, but for too long we've been divided over this, with Republicans saying there's no evidence and Democrats pointing to the evidence that existed. And I think now that the FBI director has confirmed that an investigation is taking place, we should all welcome an investigation to get to the bottom of this and make sure that never again are we in a mess like this where another country attacks us and is able to divide us.
But Congressman, in your role as a member of the House Intelligence Committee, you oversee the CIA. Have you seen anything since the election that sort of proves an alleged link between the Trump administration and Russia? And are they treating Russia in any way that is questionable or concerning to you today?
Well, I have laid out on my website, swalwell.house.gov, the extensive, deep, personal, political, and financial ties between Donald Trump and his team and Russia. The policy changes that many of those individuals have made from being anti-Russia to meeting with the Russians and then being very pro-Russia, and then also laying out just Russia's interference campaign and how that converged as these political, personal, and financial ties were taking place. And so, of course, the FBI has greater technical capabilities to get to the bottom of this, and all we ask is that they follow the evidence at this point.
Were you satisfied with all the answers you got today, Congressman?
I was, yes.
And what else is outstanding in your mind? You just spelled some of it out right there.
I'm sorry?
What else is outstanding still that you would like to hear answered in a public forum?
Well, of course, we want to know, was the president involved with any of the individuals who were working with Russia? And I say that because in June 2016, we learned that Russia was attacking us. In July 2016, Carter Page, who was one of 5 people that the president said was a senior foreign policy advisor, travels over to Russia with permission of the campaign. So a month after the interference campaign is learned, he's over in Moscow. And so we want to understand, did the president know this, and why would you allow someone on your campaign to go over to Moscow as they're attacking us?
All right, Congressman, the chairman of the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence said Monday that he doesn't believe Trump Tower was wiretapped, but left open the idea that there was other surveillance against President Trump by the Obama administration. Seems like it's a never-ending story. What other kind of surveillance is he talking about?
Well, that story's over. The end. Today, FBI director said, and he had permission from the Department of Justice to also say that there was no evidence that they found that any wiretapping ordered by President Obama took place on then candidate Trump. What's sad about this and unfortunate for our country is we want our president to be credible, and his credibility has been destroyed by making this claim, and now anything he says going forward with respect to Russia and his team, I think should be disbelieved.
Let me ask you about another focus of the hearing, Congressman. Your Republican colleagues talked a lot about leaks. And in fact, I want to play an exchange from Representative Peter King and the FBI director. Let's listen and then I'll get your reaction.
Obviously, Admiral Rogers was in the room, you were in the room, General Clapper was in the room, and Director Brennan was in the room. Were there any other people in the room that could have leaked that out? I mean, this isn't a report that was circulated among 20 people. This is an unmasking of names where you may have 20 people in the NSA and 100 people in the FBI. It's not putting together a report of all the intelligence agencies. This is 4 people in a room with the President-elect of the United States. And I don't know who else was in that room. And that was leaked out, it seemed within minutes or hours of you handing him that dossier. And it was so confidential, if you read the media reports, that you actually handed it to him separately. So, believe me, I'm not saying it's you, but I'm saying it's a small universe of people that would have known about that.
I'm not going to confirm that there was such a conversation, because then I might accidentally confirm something that was in the newspaper.
So Congressman King referring to that controversial quote-unquote dossier purportedly about President Trump that was circulated during the transition. Now, in that exchange, the director also described the recent level of leaks as unusually active. I'm wondering, Congressman, what are your thoughts on that? Do you agree with the FBI director on that?
leaks certainly should be prosecuted if they occurred, but if anyone walked away from that hearing believing that leaks are the biggest problem facing our country, they have learned the wrong lesson. Our country was attacked by Russia. There are serious questions now as to whether U.S. persons were working with the Russians during that attack, and not only U.S. persons, but people associated with the Trump campaign. And I think that should be our focus, but we should unite to make sure that Republicans and Democrats protect our democracy from ever being attacked in this fashion again. It might not be the Democrats next time who are the victims, but we should always stand and say that we will not tolerate this.
All right, Congressman Eric Swalwell in Washington. Congressman, thank you for joining us.
Of course, thank you.